Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is DJ Munzik. I'm the VP of Marketing here at KETIV. Today, we're joined with Brian Terberg. He's an engineer with Crosno Construction Incorporated, and he's going to be talking with us about Vault in the cloud. We're here for the session, Vault Strong and Cloud Smart, considering Autodesk Vault in the cloud. And he's done just that. He's considered Autodesk Vault in the cloud and has made that jump. So we're going to talk to him about that today. And to talk with him, we're joined with Phil Steiger. He's our Director of Professional Services here at KETIV, owns our automation, data management teams, and all that good stuff. And I'm just going to let you guys kind of take it from here. Phil, how did you want to kick it off with Brian?
Thanks, DJ. Thanks, Brian, for joining us today.
No problem.
My first question is, why did you move to Vault in the cloud?
There's a backstory. We originally had Vault on our local server, and we were hacked and lost probably a year or so's worth of CAD files. Because of the way Vault stores things, hackers don't realize that when they try to send you your files back, they're not what they think they are. So if you don't have your original version of Vault, you don't get them back. And so KETIV was helping us try to get some of that stuff back, and they were introducing Vault in the cloud. And we thought, that's a great idea. We don't have to have a local IT guy taking care of a server. We know it's backed up. We don't have to do maintenance on Vault, which I'm not an IT guy, and spending time going through Vault files is not something something that I shouldn't be spending my time on. So we went with KETIV, and it's been great. I can log in from anywhere. If I go on vacation and somebody needs something in an emergency, I can log in from any location and get to my files. I can assign users to different tasks, give them permissions or take permissions away as I need. And I don't have to worry about losing my files. They're there. It's very secure, and it's fast because of the way Vault works. It downloads the files to your local drive, and you work on your local drive, and then you just upload them back to Vault. And depending on your internet connection, these days it's so fast that you don't even notice it. So I don't even realize that I'm working in a cloud server when I upload and download files. So it's been nice.
Really good to hear. Did you have any reservations to move to the cloud when we first pitched it to you guys?
Well, I'd be lying if I said no. Yeah, I had reservations. You hear about the cloud, and you worry about, especially after having lost a whole bunch of files, you worry about security and access to those files, and is it going to be glitchy and slow? Is Vault going to go down? I haven't had a single problem with that stuff, and I can honestly say that I did have problems when it was on a local server, because you always run into things locally. It's been great. KETIV takes care of all the issues with Vault when it comes to maintenance stuff, archiving and those kinds of things. I don't have to worry about it.
So my next question will be, it sounds like it's met your expectations, but truly, has it met all your expectations?
Oh, yes, for sure. I still have control over everything we do. I just don't have to manage all the other extraneous stuff that comes with Vault. The setup and any of that kind of stuff. And if I do run into issues, assigning a task or a job, credentials or what have you to access to files. I've called you, Phil, and it's worked out great in a matter of minutes. It's taken care of. I've never had to wait to get files or assign permissions to anything.
I take pride in making sure that, our customers take care of quickly. I really do. So what has been the most significant benefit to moving to the cloud for you as a business?
As a business, we tend to hire a lot of interns from the local college here, and it's hard for interns to come to work. Not because they don't want to work, it's just that they work at odd hours. They'll work at night, and I can assign tasks. I need a layout for something, or I need a drawing for something, and they can do it in the middle of the night when they're done doing their studies remotely from their dorm room, and email it. Email me in the morning and let me know it's there, and I can pull it up and look at it and get it out. So it's really nice to have that flexibility to work remotely, and not worry about what's going to happen as far as, are they going to actually be able to get in and turn the alarm off in the office, or those kinds of weird things. It saves a lot of time that way.
That was the whole idea behind this, was to give that flexibility.
Yeah, it's nice.
I came from the corporate world, and I was managing a vault. That was my vision. Hey, let's make it more flexible, because it was hard on my side, to get into Vault if you weren't on-prem. It was, like you said earlier, logging into, the office and trying to get through all that stuff and jump through all those hoops. Made it very difficult.
Yeah, and especially after we were hacked. Our IT company that runs our server now, it's very difficult to log into our local server. So being able to have Vault out, not locally, has made life a lot easier, because it's handled and it's backed up, and we haven't had any issues, which is great.
That's good to hear. So my last is not a question. It's more of, did you know that you were the first?
I did not. I did not know that. Well, that's interesting. I did not know that, and wow, it feels good.
and I even know the date of when you became a customer. So for that.
Oh, really? That?
Yes. It was March 24th, 2021.
Wow. I knew it'd been a few years. That's great. And yeah, like I said, it's been flawless. We have not had a single issue with Vault. And I'm going to say, even if we did, it would have been so minor and taken care of so fast that I wouldn't even remember it. It's been great. We've done a lot with KETIV, and as a whole, it's been a very pleasant experience.
That's good to hear. I really appreciate you coming and speaking with me today. I mean, we've worked together, but we've never really sat down and chatted like this before.
Yeah, it's good to actually meet you.
Yeah.
Not on the phone,
So yes, thank you, Brian. I appreciate your time today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your perspective. Thanks for being a customer and a partner of KETIV's. If you had such a good experience on our first install, then I have to imagine that we had you pretty well fooled this whole time as that guinea pig. So that just shows what good work Phil and his team did putting this all together. And we have a lot of customers now, so you're not alone anymore, for sure, Brian. So thank you again for joining us today, and have a great rest of your week. And yeah. Best wishes for the company.
All right. Well, thank you guys. It's my pleasure.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay, great. Thanks, Brian, for joining us again. That was awesome. I really wanted to take this opportunity now to dive into some more examples, zoom out from just Brian's experience, maybe talk about some tipping points that other customers are finding reasons to move to the cloud. So I think one that we heard from Brian was this idea of really protecting that intellectual property. He had an experience with ransomware. And I think, Phil, you've mentioned other customers to me before that have had this issue, haven't you?
Had a couple of customers over the last couple of years get hit with ransomware, and they thought they had good backups, and come to find out they didn't. One customer lost about 6 months, another customer lost a year's worth of data with that. And in the cloud, when we're doing backups, our backups are being sent off in other locations. So if there was ever a ransomware hit, we have that data stored somewhere else, not locally. And these customers were storing their data, their backups on their Vault server too, which is not a good idea.
Yeah, it's like putting your safe inside of the same safe inside of the house that's burning down. It's all.
Yes.
Okay, so another thing that he mentioned is, he's not an IT guy. We kind of hear this on both sides of the coin, right? There's IT people who support vaults, but they're not really engineers. They don't understand the day-to-day workings of an engineer, and vice versa. Engineers aren't IT people. So it sounds like, Brian found some solace in the fact he didn't have to manage his box anymore.
Right. I mean, because IT is never really good with engineering. They don't want to deal with engineering. Engineering, the applications are large, they're unique. They're not your standard just your SQL or ERP type systems, and we do that really well. And we understand the back end, but we also understand helping engineers with their data.
Yeah, and like I said, you're helping, right? You're not just getting Vault in the cloud. We're not just throwing an installation at them. They're getting a truly managed environment from a world-class PDM team with KETIV, right?
And we're there to help. It all, like Brian said, picks up the phone and bam, problem that's been solved. Which is, you're not. I worked in corporate America. You call the help desk, it's not going to be instant. It's usually going to take a while. You call us, and within a few minutes, we usually are solving your problem.
Yeah, and we have a study, which I'll link into the description on this, where we talk about the costs, right? And there's real costs, there's soft costs, but we talk about some of the downtime cost. When you don't have that immediate support, you guys are down for half a day, you have 20, 30 engineers sitting there, not working on customized orders, your business is going to suffer from that, right?
Well, and it's not just engineers, you got to think manufacturing. It affects manufacturing.
Yeah, there's nothing to work on.
The manufacturing can't pull drawings to build.
Right.
If they're getting them out of Vault.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the other thing I thought about when we were discussing this was the idea that it doesn't really come up so much, but that idea of cost, right? People have to maintain the box, the software, the licensing. So can you talk about how moving to the cloud can really simplify a lot of that for people?
Yeah, when you go with the cloud, you're not ever having to worry about upgrading your server or being on the latest operating system or worrying about disk space. I mean, it's very easy for me to add disk space to one of the servers. I can do it in 5 minutes. Whereas if you have a box in your office, you might have to jump through some hoops to get that disk. And then now you got to think about, okay, I got to shut down the server to add the disk. There's a lot of steps that are involved with that.
Yeah, the other thing is, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Phil.
Oh no, and there's and the cost that is associated with that.
Yeah, the other thing, I've been talking to a lot of customers about this, and there's also this issue with being on the latest and greatest, right? People get stuck on their version of Vault because IT doesn't know how to upgrade them, or they're not sure how to migrate the files, or whereas again, we manage that, correct?
True, we do all that, and going back to servers, one of the biggest reasons they get stuck is their server is out of date and they can't upgrade to do an in-place upgrade on their current server. So now they got to go and get a new server, and sometimes that's difficult to get through the budget.
Right. Perfect. Anything else you want to share before I talk about next steps with our audience, Phil?
Well, the cloud is where everybody is going now. We have more and more customers coming to us saying, hey, we want to offload this. It allows your engineers to focus on engineering and not have to worry about taking care of a box. And it allows your IT to perform IT duties that they're trained in, and allows us to take care of those duties for you guys.
Right. There's a lot to unwrap when we get into a customer site. So I know that you guys, as part of this session, you're excited to offer a free data management assessment, right? Where you guys will come in and help. Can you quickly just talk about what that experience would be like, and we can get people a link to get started?
Yeah, well, we'll come in, we'll sit down with your engineers and basically go over, look at your data management, how you're using Vault, and give you some suggestions.
Couldn't be easier than that for a no-cost engagement with Phil and the team. So awesome. Well, Phil, I appreciate your time. It was great to have Brian on. Great to have your perspective as well. Thanks everybody for your attendance, and please reach out if you guys need any help with your Vault. You know, even if it's not cloud-based, we can help with your Vault Basic, your Vault Pro, or get you to adopt Vault for the first time. We've done that for many, many customers. So thanks again, everybody, for your time, and have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, DJ. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Phil.